Made on Ridgeway Sports Podcast, episode number 11. Hunter Keister, co-hosted with
K-Mac.
Curtis Maki, back with it. Made on Ridgeway Sports Podcast. Another week in sports, another week in the off season. Had some baseball kickoff, but that's really about it. Nothing to really write home about in another week of the off season. But we put together a pretty nice show for you, and we are going to start in the octagon talking about UFC 273. I was able to watch it. Kurt was not.
Boo.
Which isn't no fun. But that was, if you guys aren't familiar, Volkanovski and the Korean Zombie was the main event, with Volkanovski winning that fight by knockout in the fourth round. The co-main event was Aljamain Sterling versus Peter. I don't even know how they say it. Peter Yan. Most people just say Peter Yan, but it went to decision. And honestly, Aljamain whooped him. I was thinking Petr Yan was gonna win. I thought that he would beat Aljamain. I thought Aljamain looked terrible in the first time they fought. But Aljamain's really good with taking the back and doing that kind of like grappling. He's really good at that kind of stuff. So some of the best I've ever seen, honestly. Just the way he's able to kind of like latch on to people.
Yeah. Just constantly pressuring you.
And he constantly pressured Yan, and he whooped on him. And he got the win, and he deserved it. Gilbert Burns and Kazmat Shimiv, you know, that went to decision. But Gilbert Burns was getting his tail whipped pretty bad, and still coming forward and still throwing some haymakers. It was a really good fight of the night, and some people were saying, could have been they were talking about like a Hall of Fame fight from that night.
Oh, legendary.
Somebody else. Yeah, and they said it could have been like a legendary. Mackenzie Dern and Tisha Torres, I saw bits and pieces of, so I really can't talk too much on that, with Mackenzie Dern winning by decision. And then to open the card, it was Vince Pichel versus Mark Madsen, and Mark Madsen took that by decision. That was a good fight. Madsen had good grappling and pretty much, offensively wrestled him and stayed on top of him pretty much the whole fight. So that was a good one as well. Kurt, what do you think?
What stands out to me is that I'm pretty sure Khabib's guy is undefeated still, and this was one of his big fights. Kind of showing that he's legit. And what is that? What is that? 170?
Yeah.
Welterweight?
Yep. I
bet he goes on to fight Covington next.
And then this guy, we have to talk about this guy. I completely forgot about him. I hope it'll let me click on him.
Talk about who?
Ian Gary. This guy is Irish, and he was trying to he's like a knockoff Conor.
Jeez.
Yeah, I seen him and I was going nuts. He's literally he's an Irish dude, and he's like, he already used we're not here to take part, we're here to take over, and all this other stuff.
Man.
Oh man, I had to get Kurt.
I wish I would have saw that. That would have been funny. It's funny when people try to branch off of his game.
Right.
Come on now.
That's funny. Do we need to talk about? Did you want to talk about any of them other fights?
That
was it. So yeah, we're gonna jump into some NCAAH, some hockey, Frozen Four. Kurt didn't really watch that neither, so I'll kind of fill him in. Michigan took on Denver. Michigan had one of the best college hockey teams I've ever seen in my entire life, with 3 guys going to the top 5, 4 guys maybe, and just an all-around great team. They lose 3-2 in overtime, and I guess what I'll say about that game is it was very lopsided refereed. They weren't the reason we lost this game, but they didn't give us any calls at all. And
sounds familiar.
Yeah, Michigan is just cursed, man. Final Four, they can make it there. They just can't win the whole thing. And I mean, Michigan, even in overtime, was controlling the pace of play the whole overtime. They were in there. They were in Denver's zone the whole time, getting shots off, quality chances, and Michigan just can't score. And then I kept saying, right when Denver would break the zone, they would go down and score. And what do you know? They break the zone a couple passes later, and it's in the back of our net, and we're going home. As Michigan goes home 3-2. As Denver would go on to play Minnesota State. I will talk about some Michigan stats here with guys like Portillo in goal. He didn't tell me to save. There it is. 30 saves. So give it saving 30 and giving up 3 ain't too bad at all. What did our star guy do? Owen Power. He didn't do anything. No assist, no nothing. Wow. Jimmy Lambert had a goal. They played like their fourth line. This Lambert dude, and I think Mo might have been on that fourth line too, and he played a lot. But Luke Hughes, the defenseman, he's staying another year. He's a freshman. I think he was already highly drafted, but he's staying another year.
Wait, so they do the draft during the tournament?
Like the draft, so you'll get drafted and still play in college.
So they do the draft. So they'll
do it before, but like these guys, like he's already on the team.
That's kind of weird.
He's already on the team. They already know what pro team they're on. They're just gonna play how many years they want, how many years they want in college until they're ready to go pro.
I never knew it was like that. I figured it'd be better for teams to draft after they play their most important games to see who's. You
might even be taking chances like Luke Hughes. He looks good, but he's a freshman. What if he's a bust, right? But you don't think so. His whole family's in that.
You're just kind of figuring the
his
potential.
His whole family. He's like a ball. He has 2 brothers that are in the NHL already.
Oh wow! So it's just in the blood.
Yeah, and he lit it up this year for Michigan. He was a big one, but Portillo saves 30. You can't really blame him. Owen Power would like to see more. Ken Johnson, I don't even see him on here. Oh, there he is. He didn't do nothing. -1. Luke Hughes was a -2 when he was on the ice. Blankenberg. Wow. Just 2-3. Michigan loses. Tough. Still don't have a national championship in anything. I'm dying over here. I feel like it has to be hockey. I feel like it has to be football at this point. It just has to be. I just don't know.
25 years since we've done that.
Their goalie only made 19 saves. We gotta have more shots on goal. Wow. They had goals by Cameron Wright, Stapley, somebody else that's not listed on here. Well, that'll do it. And I'll look at the Denver and Minnesota State. That's funny. Kurt's like dumbfounded over here, having these small colleges.
It's just weird.
In the.
So you said these sports usually it's always the bigger schools.
Right. In the national championship, Ryan Barrows scores Denver's goal, or Ryan Barrows scores. Mike Bennett scores. They put up 5 goals, Kurt. Massimio Rizzo.
They scored 5 times?
Yeah, and Wright again. But they put up 5 goals. Minnesota State only scored once.
So they got cracked.
Yeah, they got
cracked.
They got beat pretty bad. And that goalie made 27 saves, only giving up 1 goal. So that's a really good save percentage.
Yeah. Wow.
What? I wonder how many shots Denver's offense had.
Ooh. I'm gonna guess like 40.
He only made 15 saves. I guess he did give up. So he faced 18 shots and only made 15 saves. That's pretty. That's they didn't really shoot a whole lot, but I guess they
just made him in.
Yeah. Yep.
So they only shot at him 18 times, made 5 of them?
Yeah, I think that's what that says. Oh wait, is that? This is Minnesota State's goalie, I think. And he hit 5 goals. I don't know why it says 3. I think it's been 5. Yeah.
Did they have somebody else come in?
No.
No?
It would have been.
They don't run 2 goalies?
It would have been right here, but it says goals allowed 3, and it should be 5. I don't know why it said that, but nonetheless, Denver beats Michigan, goes on to win a national championship. Michigan once again still has nothing. No national championships. The drought continues into baseball season. Vanderbilt was the other one. That's the one I was forgetting. Vanderbilt in the World Series. We lost to them.
Vanderbilt?
Yeah.
Vanderbilt? Yeah. That does sound pretty recent, huh? I think that was within the past 2 years.
Yeah, that was pretty recent. Alright, as we finish up with that, we're going to take it to some somber news. We're going to address Dwayne Haskins, his unfortunate passing over the weekend as he was struck by a vehicle as he was training with some other players. Just truly sad. He was in the running for the Steelers starting quarterback spot. Kurt, as a Steelers fan, how do you feel about this?
Yesterday when I got up and just checked out what was going on in the world, that was the very first thing I saw was that, and my jaw dropped. It's honestly just really sad to hear. Just speaking in football terms, he was never going to be the starter, but it's still really sad to see because a lot of teams probably weren't willing to take a shot at him. So we did last year as a free agent, and I bet his teammates they're all just crushed right now because they were literally just training a couple days ago in Florida, and it was actually Trubisky's idea to bring all of them down there and train together just to get ready for the season. And I guess the story is that Dwayne Haskins was on the side of a highway. He ran out of gas, so he was stopped over, and he tried crossing over a main highway, and he got hit. So that's honestly really sad. He's a little bit older than me, so it kind of just shows you never just know.
Anything can happen in this world, man.
Literally, that's really sad. Nobody should ever die that young, and just
I don't know, the ruthless, terrible. I mean, I know you're gonna have this with every fan base, but the ruthless people that are praising or joking around about his death, you're just come on, get a grip, man. This is the reality. This is the football. But everybody makes a choice, and just because they didn't choose to play for your favorite team, they're still human beings. He was a great quarterback. He sliced Michigan, and for the people that are
he had a big year at Ohio State that season he started. I think he only started 1 year,
right,
and he had 50-some touchdowns to. I don't know if he had double-digit interceptions, but he had a huge season.
He went down as one of the best Ohio State quarterbacks ever. So for the people in any sport, if you hate the Steelers, if you hate Ohio State, doesn't matter. He's a human being first, and then a football player. And just because he didn't go to your favorite school or go to your favorite team, don't do that kind of stuff, man.
Still sad.
It's just not right. Prayer to him, condolences to his family, and but as we'll move on past him a little bit and look at what the quarterback situation looks like for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Kurt, what do you think? Rudolph has obviously been your front runner, I assume.
That changed the moment we signed Trubisky. He's gonna be the starter 100%. And if they fiddle-faddle with the situation at all, I'm gonna be pissed. So there's no way Rudolph should be the starter.
You think Trubisky should start 100%?
100%. That's why they signed him. Otherwise, you would have been better off drafting someone. But they still, just from what I'm thinking, if Malik Willis is there at 20, I think they're going to take him.
Bringing it back now, going to talk about Saints, Eagles, trade. Should have been last week, but we'll talk about it now because we forgot. The Saints ended up getting the 16th and the 19th pick and 194. They give up their first round pick, which was 18. They give up 101, which would be a third.
That'd be about a third round pick, and middle of the third.
237 should be. They also give up. I didn't know they gave up next year's first round pick.
Yeah, they gave up next year's first round pick to get another first round pick this year.
I like now. It makes sense. The trade makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense because New Orleans, they're definitely. I think they want to get a quarterback.
But I don't think this draft class and what next year's draft class could potentially be, I don't think it stacks up. So to be out of the first round for next year, especially if you're kind of bad like the Saints could potentially be, that's a huge gamble to give up your first round pick.
I see that, but here's the biggest thing is if we're already looking at next year, you're probably going to assume that Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud go top 5.
Oh, yeah.
So are the Saints going to be that bad? I don't see it.
Probably not.
And that's, like, next year's class probably is going to be better, but you just never know.
I just don't think we're at the point in a like, almost a rebuild, not quite that, but I don't think we're in a position to where we should be trading our next year's first-round pick. I think that's a...
They're probably looking to get a quarterback and a receiver or something like that.
Yeah, I feel like the Saints
get a little offense going.
The Saints definitely take a quarterback at 16 or 19 now, I think. If you're trading into this class, I think it's for one...
It has to be.
It's for one reason and one reason only, unless you bundle them and trade up really high. But I think they go quarterback receiver. And please, just...
Chris Olave.
No. Just... Let it be Traylon Burks, Drake London, one of them guys, please. But if we're going quarterback, give me Malik.
Yeah, that's the only guy I want.
Give me Malik Willis. But yeah, we just had to touch on that. We completely forgot about it, and it was a pretty big trade, and we just completely slipped our mind. So
100%.
Draft coverage will be more next week as we slowly approach the draft, and some exciting offseason as we've been just in a dry spell for a while. But as the Saints kind of got fleeced in that one, but you can say that they got fleeced on one aspect. But if you're the Saints and you have a
but if they get their guy,
if you have a team that can win now, almost, which they're pretty close, and you get a quarterback that's serviceable in Malik Willis and another good receiver, it all kind of makes sense if you win. You know what I mean? If you have a bad year, this trade probably makes no sense. But if you're in a position to win at the end of the year, then you can say, okay, we did that, and we made those picks worth something. But we'll stay in the NFL, and we will continue our weekly NFL division that I like to call worst to first. We're going to go over to the AFC East, and out of the remaining divisions, we thought that was the most exciting to talk about. That is the Bills, the Patriots, the Dolphins,
and Jets.
And the Jets.
Yep.
Curry, you always go first when we do this.
Yeah.
I feel like, so let me kind of take hold for this one.
All right.
As I look to rank the AFC East, 4 to me is easily still the Jets. I think they're making strides. I mean, like, I feel like they've been, but outside of like the couple years with Mark Sanchez, the Jets have kind of been like Michigan to me. They've just been pretty bad for quite a while. I mean, they made a couple AFC championships with Mark Sanchez. Outside of that,
that was 12 years ago.
Yeah, they've been pretty bad for quite a while. So, the Jets, they're making good strides. I like the team they're putting together. I think they, who's their quarterback? Honestly,
Zach Wilson was who they drafted last year to BYU.
I forgot. Zach Wilson. Yep. So they're putting pieces together. I think that division got a lot better, and they're still light years behind all of them. So they're still at 4, last in the division to me. If I had to give them a win total, I really feel like they're going to be probably bottom half of the league. Probably at like a
bottom 10.
Probably at like a 5-win team, to be completely honest. I think that division probably they might even go winless in that division. They might get a game off the Colts, but the Pats and the Dolphins, I don't think they drop a game up to them, to be honest. So 5 wins for the Jets. They continue their everlasting rebuild that never seemed to end.
Never.
I'll go with them there. As for 3, what do we got? We got the Colts, the Dolphins.
No. We got the Colts, Jets, Pats, and Bills.
Colts.
The Colts are in the AFC South.
Yeah, Colts. Okay. So, 3. Shoot.
So you got out of Miami, New England, and Buffalo.
Miami. Okay. Miami, New England should be another close race for 3rd and 2nd place. I think that it's probably a close race. But honestly, I'm going bold here. I'm gonna put the Patriots in 3rd. Because I think the Patriots are 3rd at probably 9 wins. Probably 9 and 8. I'd say.
That's what they'd be if they had 9 wins.
I'd say 10 wins. 10 wins for the Patriots. Give me the Dolphins in 2nd place with right around that 10 to 9 wins. I think they just finished higher.
You're saying within a game of each other, probably.
They're within a couple games. I think 2nd and 3rd place is within a couple games. I think it's another close race. But the Bills got a lot better in this offseason. If they draft right, they give maybe another running back, help Josh Allen out some more, as he's just been phenomenal for them. Their defense is still pretty good. They got a good chance to do some damage in the AFC this year. And I like them to finish at 1st with 11 wins. I'll give them 11 wins, and they'll win the division.
All right. 4th place for me, no question, the Jets. They suck. They've sucked my whole life, I feel like, honestly.
I'll tell them.
Outside of that little stretch of 2 or 3 years, ain't really been nothing. Not much really to say there. Just Zach Wilson, and I just feel like they don't have any good players. Like, nobody really in offense enticing. I mean, they got just nobody really. Michael Carter Jr. is alright though. 3rd place for me is Miami. I am not a Tua believer. I kind of thought he just looked great at Alabama because every quarterback does there. But I think he looked pretty alright until he got hurt though. I think that injury really hurt him.
Yeah. That
hip surgery. Because your hips is where you get all your torque from when you throw.
Right.
But, it's going to really show if Tyreek going to Miami, if Tua doesn't look good this year, then it's not a good look. Because they've literally added so many players around him this offseason. So this is his year. If he's that guy, then,
Miami should show
they could definitely, if he steps his game up, they can definitely go to the playoffs. Miami's a decent team, so I think if he steps up, they could. But I still got them in 3rd. Jets probably, 5 wins, 6 wins, nothing more. That's for sure. Miami, I'm going to say 9, maybe 10 wins. Like I said, solid. We actually play them. Yeah. We play all these teams this year. That's funny. Okay. For me, Pats at 2. Mac Jones, year 2. Bill Belichick, the defensive guru. Added Jabril Peppers. They always got a solid defense. And their offense is just manageable. It's not too bad. It's not too spicy, but we'll see how Mac Jones looks this year. Maybe he'll step up. Maybe he'll be a game manager still. We'll see. But I like New England at 2. Probably 10 wins. It's going to be real close for me with those 2 teams. I don't think they made any of the big moves. They never make any big moves. That's just how New England goes. They don't really add a whole lot. Buffalo, for me, still is the top team in this division. they're definitely going to be in the playoffs. Josh Allen is phenomenal. He's really developed nicely since 2018. That is for sure. They added an extension to Stephon Diggs, so he's going to be there for a while. Tre'Davious White will be back this year at some point off of a torn ACL, so that'll help. And, Josh Allen has just been great the past 2 seasons. So, and if not for some bad defense by Buffalo, they go to the championship game against Cincinnati. So, I like them in first for sure. Should be a pretty good division. You could argue maybe 3 playoff teams, but I'm going to say at least 2 will probably get in. And that's about all I got, honestly.
Yeah, I think we covered that well. Touched on that division. And that was pretty much it for this week, right?
Yep.
Getting to another week of the off season here. Gonna spice things up with the draft looming, getting ready for that. But another week made on Ridgeway Sports Podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Like, comment, subscribe, follow us. Anywhere you can find a podcast, we're on there. Made on Ridgeway Sports Podcast. Share it with your friends. We hope you guys enjoyed. And until the next one, I'm out of here.
See ya.
Peace.